opening tip with Magic in the middle. James Worthy, former Laker, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, flanking Magic. And the opening ceremonial tip is taken by Shaq. Well, it's L.A. You got to give it to the home team, right?
He threw it that way.
Devin George, Shaq on the high post, and then George slips down and loses the ball, and out of bounds it goes to Detroit. Bryant losing it. Rasheed comes up with it in front of the Detroit bench. Pistons coached by Larry Brown in the finals, second time in 4 years. That's an air ball thrown up by Wallace. Rasheed is known for offense and defense. Ben is known for defense only. And there was Payton trying to get it to O'Neal, but too high.
Yeah, right now you can see Detroit defensively. They're not going to help off Shaq much.
And the rest of the team 0 for 6. Into Shaq again. They keep going to him. Guarded by Ben Wallace. That doesn't drop, and he travels. So the Lakers turn it over again.
Yeah, that's more what Larry...
Coaching. He said, when I got out of the NBA, there was a test for retired players to tell you what you were suited to do. He said, my 3 answers: outdoor expedition guide, minister and psychologist, or house husband. Fortunately, I found something else.
But next year, George guarded by Prince. Now Bryant with 5 on the 24. O'Neal. Malone has to put it up. And Ben Wallace skies for the rebound.
Situations and then play his defense.
6-second differential. And that gets blocked by Wallace, but they're going to call goaltending. 21-19.
Excellent move. I tell you, goaltending is such a tough call. It really is. You can make a case that was going up, but it was also over the cylinder. Yeah, role players, you know, you can have all the stars in the world. If you don't have great role players and guys willing to accept those roles, you're not going anywhere.
The bench is big, especially in a best of 7. 8:31 to the half. Pistons by 2.
I don't know much about hockey, but that was a goal.
I'm calling JD right now. Hold on. O'Neal got it back from Fox, but Okura was there to slap it away. These again, Payton and Malone still scoreless. 0 for 7 from the field between them. For Shaq, it's a different story. He dishes it off to Malone, and Cross still can't get anything to drop. George, they're going to work it into Shaq again. And then George can't handle it, but it goes out of bounds off Detroit. George, they're going to work it into Shaq again. And then George can't handle it, but it goes out of bounds off Detroit. Lakers inbounding 11 on the shot clock. Hamilton tried to steal, but couldn't. Bryant to Malone. 5 on the shot clock. Here's O'Neal. He'll take it up. Think of the dirty work Malone has to do. He had Duncan for 6 games. He had Garnett for 6 games. So he hasn't scored, but he's always a factor. Stolen by Detroit. Here's Billups. He goes all the way and then drops. Yeah, that's an interesting point because Wallace played only 8 minutes in the first half. So Malone, who still has not scored, neither has Payton. And Gary turns it over.
You know, I look at also made another great point at halftime. He said that they aren't used to getting wide open shots like they had in the first half. They're so used to the Eastern Conference basketball where every shot was contested. They have to get used again that they do have time to be quick enough to come back and contest the shot.
Bryant gets by Rasheed Wallace, misses it, but then Wallace drops it out of bounds. Second game in the series is Tuesday night here then to Michigan for game 3. Kobe was long on that one. Wallace gets the rebound out in front to Hamilton, guarded by George, and
that the karma came back to get him.
It did.
You know, we talk about how dominant the Lakers are, and you bring that up. Without that shot, you probably aren't looking at the Lakers here. Without the great block of Tayshaun Prince, you're probably not looking at the Pistons here.
2 great blocks by Tayshaun Prince. One on Reggie Miller and the other one on Al Harrington in game 6. Ben Wallace drops one.
That's gravy.
Prince. Here's Wallace again from outside. Big Ben not noted for offense. And of course with 2 on the timer. Now that one goes in. Wallace impeded it just enough. And it's against the Lakers. 3-second call here. Or no, it's a foul.
Yeah, they're saying that Shaquille O'Neal used his opposite arm to wave off Ben Wallace right there, and that's where the foul was. You know, it's so difficult, again, to referee a game because you don't
an 8-second differential, and Hamilton went down and is just now getting up in backcourt as Kobe has that one blocked. And when Hamilton went down, it means that as he stayed down there, come in and steal one, and when you're the visiting team, that's what you want to do.
Well, he did it with the Philadelphia 76ers, so Larry Brown has history.
And Russ tried to get it up and had that contested as the shot clock.
Great defense, and I'm going to tell you.
Is the radio commentator, fellow commentator for the Pistons. Bryant finds a wide open Fisher who's short. Possessions from the corner. That doesn't drop from Prince, but that is good to make it 68-58.
You can see
Williamson coming back into the game, and Darvin Ham will come back in for Detroit.
And this is how Ben Wallace scores, by attacking the bucket. Not only a great defensive player, but obviously a great rebounder.
Bryant one-on-one with Prince. Shovels it underneath, and O'Neal can't handle it. But it's on the end line, and
thus far in this game.
22 for Billups. The Pistons have 4 guys in double figures. The Lakers have been a 2-man scoring machine tonight. Nobody else has more than 5. That's George, and the Lakers. Wallace. Wow.
Like what Larry Brown decided to do. Kobe Bryant and Shaq, you score. We're going to defend you, but you can score. We're not going to help, but we're going to shut everybody else down. And that's exactly what the Detroit Pistons did. And now we're no longer talking about bad offense. We're talking about great Detroit Piston defense.
The Detroit Pistons have told the country, hey, by the way, we're here too.